Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition and a very intense edition of the Misfits Racing League. My name is Strifium here from Canada. Joining me all the way from Spain for this Tier 3 broadcast, Alex, how are you doing today?
Hello, Striv. Very good today, and I'm really excited to see these Tier 3 drivers here on Azerbaijan today. So, yeah, very excited to see what they can do today.
Round 8 racing action for MRL Season 4. 5 grids will be taken to the streets of Baku this week, and the first one to take us through it will, of course, be Tier 3 Division. It is 20 very high intensity turns here around the streets of Baku, but of course, these drivers no strangers to intensity as we are just coming off of round 7 Monaco racing, and it was a very intense week there as well, and I think we're going to see similar if not the same style of racing from a lot of the drivers on this grid here in Azerbaijan, just keeping things neat and tidy. Next week we go to Canada, my home Grand Prix, and I'm very excited for that. Following that, we have France, Austria, Britain, Hungary, Belgium, Italy, Singapore, as well as Russia, Japan, the United States of America, Mexico, Brazil, and for the finale of the season, round 22, Abu Dhabi. Of course, massive shout out to our partners, Next Level Racing. You can check them out via their website for some amazing simulation racing rigs, products, and things of the sort to take your game to the next level. That link will be in the chat, and of course the panels down below. They are really helping out the simulation racing community with some quality racing products over on their site, so check them out. We take a look at the standings right now. Tier 3 Season 4 action is looking like this. Rutanius leading the championship by a significant margin now. 140 points for the Dutchman Backrow. They're in second for the Red Bull squad. 71 points tied with, yes, that's right, Squid in the Williams. Maka fourth, Adam rounding out the top 5 here. And I'm really looking forward to how this Constructors Championship will flow through the remainder of the season. As we're already into round 8, we have Racing Point, Red Bull, and Williams, the top 3. And of course, Williams tied with Renault. So there's a lot happening in this grid, Alex, through this season. And now we're here for the 8th installment of the Tier 3 division. And with that being said, we are just about ready to go racing here. But let's have your thoughts on this division, Alex. You've been commentating it with me all season. There's been some good rivalries so far.
Yeah, Rutenius and Atom, really that harsh rivalry we have here on Tier 3, as well as Cactus, Arrow, Jasco. A lot of drivers as well as Maka on the top 5, battling always for that podium. So yeah, it will be very intense to see them racing here on the streets of Baku. So yeah, now just waiting for a few drivers to be in, and I think we will ready soon.
Well, the one thing that we can say certain about Baku is that it has its very specific history with the MRL, and we'll go down through the history of that through the racing and qualifying. But one thing I can say for certain is if anyone has taken the time to do a little bit of MRL research, so to speak, and go through some of the highlights from Season 3 and Season 2 of MRL around Baku, this is a very exciting race that we're about to see here. Baku, a circuit with a lot of 90-degree turns through that first sector, very intricate second sector, and then you have that very fast third sector. A lot of, tight angles to work through, especially if you're wheel to wheel. People, they don't want to lose their wing. We have that iconic castle section, and we have all the drivers now readying up and just getting themselves set up for this quali now. But we'll take you through a couple of the iconic places to really keep an eye on once we jump into the qualifying session here. What a fun circuit, in my opinion. It's one of my personal favorites on the calendar. And I imagine there's some people that, don't feel that way, Alex. Maybe you're one of them. I'm not entirely sure where you land on Azerbaijan, but I actually thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a very technical track, definitely on Sector 2. You really need to be patient, really need to have the confidence in the setup. And on dry conditions, and even more on wet conditions, we haven't talked about that yet. So, yeah, very technical section. Of course, we have that massive straight line, straight on the main straight, on the start finish straight. So, a lot of the overtakes will be done there, and as well on turn 3 on the second straight we have of the RS.
Yeah, DRS straight coming out of turn 2 into the 90 degree of turn 3, and we've seen issues through MRL before where drivers go a little bit deep and sometimes they hit that wall on the outside through the exit and they'll take an end plate off. Same can be said for turn 2, a very notable location for a driver to take off an end plate. We are now into this session, and the sun is shining down here in the pit lane. That is one of the largest questions that we have seen go unanswered all season, and that is, well, where's the rain? It hasn't been in any of these races, but we'll get a weather report shortly as the first drivers head out of the pit lane now. We'll take a look and see who we can jump on with who's head out. Here first, it's going to be Squid in the Williams, and he's coming through turn 2 now. Take you for a little bit of a grand tour here around the streets of Baku in a few moments on his hot lap.
Yeah, he's always the first to be on track. He really likes to be the first. So we'll see if he can do the lap on the soft compound. The strategy very different. We have like different possibilities to go to the end on this track. The softs degrade a lot, the rears especially on those traction zones of sector 1 and sector 2. So probably we can see soft, hard to medium, or medium to hard. Especially hard to medium I think is the fastest, but a lot of drivers would like to be on the soft to hard, just so they are able to clear the traffic faster or just not have major problems on the first stint. As we see, Routine is overtaking Squid to be the first to set a lap, it seems. But yeah, and as well as Moen really wants to overtake Squid as well.
Yeah, the racing points have been showing well here in Tier 3, given Rutanius now is the leader of the Drivers' Championship. Multiple wins to his resume, if you will, this season. And now as you come through Sector 3, this very flowing section that begins realistically out of turn 16 to bring you through the long straight. You'll see the DRS now in utilization as that rear wing comes wide open on the racing point. And Alex, why don't you take us through a lap here with Rutanius and Baku?
Yeah, Rutanius will be there on first sector. You just see how he takes the curb on first turn, doesn't want to take the inside though, and he brushes the wall almost there on the exit of turn 2, just opening DRS, opening that hot lap mode on that racing point. Low downforce can be good for these straights as well. The inside curves are very dangerous because it just unsettles the car a lot on this first sector. As we see, he doesn't want to take it, so he will be closing the first sector with a 34.6. Seems pretty decent to me as the banker lap. Very good on traction out of turn 6. Going to turn 7, he has to cut a lot of that inside, and he knows it. Look how much he takes that inside curve. Is a flat curve, so no problem to cut there. Now castle section, very tight, doesn't want to risk on this first attempt, so the Retain is on the racing point there on the traction zone out of turn 12. Very good as he was putting the traction down. Now going to almost sector 3, he jumps the curb, not invalidating but brushing the wall out of turn 15. Now opening sector 3, and now this is a slalom through these S's.
Sorry guys, I see your comments and I'm trying to figure out a fix for the technical difficulties at the moment, so just bear with us as Alex can continue to talk through us this lap.
Yeah, will be Rutanius who opens the DRS. He's on the main straight. Will be setting at 37, seems 38.2 as his banker lap. Squid seems like he invalidates and he will not be finishing this lap. Moen racing point 40.2, 2 seconds off his teammate, but it seems like a pretty decent lap for a banker and a good lap for the racing points. Meanwhile, I think we have as well McLaren probably is Damon. Yeah, Damon please putting himself on P3. Harlem as a reserve capacity on the Ferrari 38.5, just 3/10 behind the pole sitter right now on provisional pole. Adam, very good rival for the Racing Point driver, putting himself on P3 straight.
Well, I think we may have sorted out these technological difficulties now. Please give us a little bit of time and watch it for a few moments before you guys assess where things are at. It might take a few moments to catch up. But yes, I do believe we have fixed things, and I appreciate everybody's excellent feedback and patience, as always, in supporting us with these issues.
Oh, and Arrow goes wide, I think it was, on turn 2. Yeah, he went to the escape road. As he's now back, we hope he doesn't get disqualified by the game. Doesn't seem like it will be like that. So very good news for him, as Unicorn will be closing the lap in a few moments. He's on that main straight, will open DRS. It seems like he has a good portion of ERS, as Undertaker hopefully joins now for qualifying. He had an issue with the internet, I think. So it's P9 for the Renault after almost taking a podium on Monaco. I think he lost it on the last lap.
Well, Linus right now, a driver who's been on and off through the season, coming through turn 16 right now. I was on board with him as I came back. I hadn't been entirely sure which driver we were watching because I was getting those things dialed in, but now we have the Ferrari coming through sector 3, and we have a few other drivers who are going to be coming through to start laps in a moment here. I think Squid will see get a run in. There's a yellow flag through turn 15 right now.
I think it was Harlem, I think, probably without fuel.
Oh, there goes Linus, P12, his first time. We'll jump on with Squid in the Williams.
Yeah, a lot of drivers probably without fuel. This is a very large track. You really need more than 5 kilos, which is the minimum. Because otherwise, on your outlap, you will be dead. You will be dead on that exit of turn 16, entering sector 3, and you will be on low fuel all the big straight. So it will be very, sometimes dangerous probably for the drivers who are on a hot lap and you are almost stationary on a fast part of the track.
A lot of drivers on the grid right now running absolutely nothing but fumes in these Formula 1 cars. You can see Arrow right now, a little bit of damage on that front right wing as he comes into 16 here. Fuel light red for him. And definitely could very well be dangerous. Should there be a fast mover coming through. Dirk Chocolate into the pit lane as well. Rutanius is on an outlap. He's coming out of turn 2. And we'll see who the first driver will be to set another flyer.
I think it will be Godwin with the mediums. I think he now puts a hot lap mode up in DRS. He's on the mediums, as I said. So we'll see if the AlphaTauri driver can set a good lap with that compound. Probably can be good for a strategy. So I think we will be on board with him on this lap, as I think he will be the first driver to close, another lap.
Well, Godwin now coming down that straight into sector, well, not sector, but turn 3, of course, with that DRS wide open on the rear wing. Getting on the brakes now, that left-hand turn as we come out of turn 3 into turn 4. Utilizing these mediums. Tire strategy here in Baku can really go a variety of different ways given the safety car element. Season 2 and Season 3 of MRL racing action in Tier 2 saw, for both those seasons back-to-back, 4 full safety car deployments. 4 full safety car deployments. And of course, we'll love to see those predictions in the chat of how many you just might think we see here in, of course, Baku. Now, I have it on very good authority coming out of the Alfa Romeo camp today from their, I think, de facto Tier 3 engineer, Mr. Alex Beto. Scars has indicated to me, I wrote it down, Scars has indicated to me that the Alfa Romeos today will be collecting a 1-2 finish in this race for points. I asked him, for points or for, P1 and 2 in retirements? He said for points. So, chat, Alfa Romeo apparently is coming here to play.
Oh, Undertaker, I think, spun out of turn 2 and he was blocking a little bit. I think both Reynolds hopefully were not on a lap, so that's very good for them, as Godwin set a good lap time with those mediums, putting himself on P12, and I think it was Cactus probably putting himself on P5.
Well, Cactus coming through turn 2, I would say yes. The Mercedes, a 39.086, is into 5th position, just 0.02 of a second on the rear of the McLaren Damon plays. I was going to say Mercedes, but Cactus is driving the Mercedes, of course. Undertaker.
Yeah, now Rotanius.
Oh, as you said, Rotanius. Yeah, into 15 he goes.
Yeah, He jumps that curb, almost losing the rear, as you see. He had to correct a lot that steering wheel. He's down on his time. Is a bad sector too. So, oh, but look at that. Who is that? Is his teammate? Probably that can be a very good slipstream. Just on a perfect occasion, we will see if this can help the main driver of Racing Point, seems the leader of the championship, and it seems it will.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need here, is some good teamwork. And we've seen teamwork through this season, not just in Tier 3, but Tier 2, Tier 1, Americas, and APAC as well. Come through for all of these racers, as it is a combined Constructors Championship. So although you're seeing two drivers for Alfa Romeo as example, as Lavelle comes out of turn 6, it is actually teams of 10. Isn't that right, Alex?
Is of course right, and you can see it there, prove it. Not the first time we see that, as Harlem is improving 4 tenths. Entering sector 3, we'll see on the onboard of the Ferrari, on the reserve for Ferrari today. Harlem, a very good driver, very complete. It's not the first time we see him on MRL. He will be opening the DRS, probably gaining a little bit here on sector 3. We hope he can do that and beat Rutenius, but it will be enough. Yes, Striff is a pole position provisional for Harlem, 1 tenth clear almost from Rutenius.
Well, I am thrilled, absolutely thrilled to see a Ferrari on pole position at the moment. We have 6 minutes remaining here in the session, and who just crossed the line into third position? It was Squid in the Williams, a 38.221 here.
Atom now crossing the line in a few moments. He was improving half a second and will be P3 for him. It seems like he lost a little bit of time there on sector 3, but look at that grid. It's very close on the top 4 spots, Striff.
It's extremely close in the top 4 spots right now. We take a look at the details between the leader all the way down to, well, 7th position right now. It's 1 second. But I think we've seen this grid all season long, of course. We know that everybody's tight. The question is, where are all of the laps? The gap from 1st down to 5th is less than, well, 8 tenths as Dunk on You comes across. But then you see that top 4 less than 2 tenths, and well, it's tight, and it's going to get tighter. 5.5 minutes remaining here in quali, and people have been invalidating a few of their runs.
Yeah, now Linus on a Ferrari. This time he is a full time, not as his teammate for today, as Razor was not available to race for Ferrari today. So we'll see Linus crossing the line. He was improving by a bunch of time. It's almost a second improvement. He'll put himself on P11. Very good place to start on Baku, as you can choose your tires on the start.
Take a look at who we can find here. Dirk Chocolate's on a set of mediums at the moment. He's not currently on a flyer. Not entirely sure what he's thinking there. Guillermo here, aka Becario here in the Haas. He's coming up through Castle. He's just had a little bit of a tap on the left-hand wall here as he comes up through, but he is going to continue flying.
Probably he will head on the pits. 4 minutes remaining, probably a little bit more for these drivers, but he was, I think, red by almost half a second. So we'll see on this second split. And well, he sets a sector to purple, but probably is a glitch, visual glitch, as we know how this is done. But yeah, probably he just wants to go fast to the pit lane and set another fastest lap with another compound. It seems like it will be like that as he just lifts. So, and he ran us a fuel, actually.
Everybody really dancing in with the fuel right now. And I don't know what to say about it. We've seen it. That's not something I recall seeing a lot of in Baku qualifying sessions races past, Alex, is major loss on fuel at the end of laps. Is that a new thing that people have been trying? Is it?
I actually think it's not new. I think on last game as well happened, where you were. It was easy to run out of fuel on that in lap. So probably some drivers, as we see, not aware that probably they need more, or probably they don't want to put more, as we know that more fuel, more kilos, so slower you go. So right now, I think we have Damon place on P8 entering sector 2. I don't know if it was an improvement, but now it seems like he's doing a good lap. I think he has traffic ahead, but it doesn't seem like it will be enough to impede his flying lap. On the exit of turn 12, the McLaren goes, just utilizing all the curves on that exit. You can really take profit of that exit, so you can put the throttle down as soon as possible. So we'll see on the second split the McLaren how he managed, if he's good or not. Yeah, it is 3 tenths green on his personal best. So we'll see if that Alpha Tauri gives you a little bit of slipstream, but it seems like he's so far away. So right now Damon plays, it seems like we'll be improving by almost 3 tenths.
Well, that's going to be major for him right now, given that 39.068. If he finds 3/10, it will put him ahead of Dunk on You potentially. He's right on the rear of Dunk on You, Alex. It was less than 200ths of a second between them. And I have to say, he'll be happy about that. Maybe not. Well, I think he would have liked P5, but that was a great lap from him to improve. Rutanius is on the move, and we have a few drivers on outlaps right now. It was, of course, Gadwin, who came into the pit lane, and Undertaker now. Well, he set a 39 flat, and I don't know if he'll be improving on it. Cactus flying, as you said, he's just come up through out of Castle, and a lot of curbing, and fortunately not invalidating there. As you come through this Sector 2 section into this iconic, what we call the esports curb, he's going to utilize a lot of this curb, doesn't get all of it, so that he invalidates, but he gets enough that he's able to get around that turn.
2.5 improvement, it seems, out of that sector 2 for Cactus. A little bit of losing the rear then on turn 15, esports turn, as we normally said. So DRS open for the Mercedes. He will set a lap right now. It's a 38.7, and it will be P5 as Gadwin retires. I think it was on pits.
Yeah, I do believe he has called it in the pit lane. JA Games 84 in the Red Bull. He's flying right now. He's currently at 40.2, looking to get himself into this grid, as is Dirk Chocolate on the mediums again. This will be his third full lap on the medium compound tires, and I know Dirk Chocolate, and I know how he likes Baku, so to see him in 20th position right now, well, I have to say, it's got me scratching my head, Alex. But as he comes out of turn 15, he's looking clean through here. As he comes through 16 now, he's got a Ferrari ahead of him. It's Harlem.
He really wants to start on these mediums, as
Harlem's
Harlem
giving him a tow.
Major damage, Harlem. He has
no
front
it's
wing
damage. I thought that the two friends were going to be getting a little bit of tow action, but it seems that Harlem, as you said, yeah, he's got that front wing missing. Dirk Chocolate to the line now. What's it going to be? Is it going to be enough to get himself where he needs to be? Well,
nope.
6/10. It's a 40.473, but he's starting this race at the back of the bus, Alex.
Yeah, and we didn't notice, but Virginia set a fastest lap, improving almost 4 tenths, I think. The 37.64. The racing point as Arrow crossed the line on this moment, and it was a 38.2, setting himself on P3. It is a very good spot. Duncan, you're still on a lap. He will be crossing, it seems, but no, because he's on zero deployment, so he'll be heading out to the pits. Maka, now it seems like he's not improving at all.
Well, Rutanius was on a flyer, and he's come into some traffic here as Cactus moves through on him, and I'm not entirely sure if there was some kind of exchange, a blocking of some capacity, but Guillermo now comes in 9th. His teammate Maka in 10th.
And Squid jumps into 3rd.
Sorry, yeah, Squid. He gets that 3rd position.
Totally. And I think we have only back row, which improving almost 6 tenths on that 39.2. That can be good, I think, for P7. We will see. It's P6 for the Red Bull, so Baku will be fighting as well on that top 10.
Alex goes 13th to finish out this session. So 39.1 out of Alex. Let's take a look at the gap to leader right now from 1st all the way down to 7th position. It is 1 second. a little bit further back than that. It's still quite tight through this grid. And 20 drivers, Dirk Chocolate in 20th position. He's taken a podium in this division. We'll see where he lands himself here in Baku. Very interesting strategy goal. He's put 3 laps onto the set of mediums.
Yeah, he really didn't want to touch the soft compound, so probably he wants to start on the hards, even not on the mediums. So we will see how these bottom 10 drivers manage to cover their strategy for this race. I think it's 26 laps for these drivers here on Baku, as we are waiting for, I think it's Ruthenius to retire the car on the pits. Yes. So this is qualifying done. Will be Ruthenius on pole position with a 37.6, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, all the drivers now, they have been preparing for this, and here's how things are going to line up ahead of round 8, tier 3 here in Azerbaijan. It is the Dutchman Ruthenius in the racing point, a 37.690, the fastest time in this session, and he will start this race on pole position. Harlem here in a reserve capacity for Ferrari will be starting with a nice time in his debut, a 138.079, just 4/10 off the rear of Ruthenius. Squid and the Williams will round out the top 3. We have Arrow in 4th, Adam in 5th, back row 6th, Cactus in 7th, Dunk on You in 8th, and we have Damon in 9th, with Guillermo, aka Beccario, rounding out the top 10 in the Haas. We're going on through the rest of this grid with you on the formation lap.
Yeah, but we'll see, I think, a really different strategy between these drivers. I think the bottom 10 will select the mediums or the hards. I think we will not. Oh my god, this is very cloudy, Striff.
Well, it's cloudy, but we don't see any water on the ground at the moment. That could very well change, though, if we see a safety car or something of the sort. And safety cars here in Baku are quite common, not so much as a rarity here. And we'll just have to see how this tier 3 division, who I have to say, Alex, has been quite clean through the season, copes with the streets of Baku.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see these drivers. It was very clean on Monaco. Of course, Monaco very difficult to manage to not collide with anyone, but still, I think we actually didn't have any safety car on that round. So now the drivers loading in, selecting the strategies, selecting the fuel, changing front wing differential pressures. Pressures very important on this track. So now just the formation lap, and we can see the different of tires on the bottom 10.
Well, Ruthenius on pole position, Harlem in the Ferrari on the front row next to him. It's Squid in 3rd, Arrow in 4th, Adam in 5th. We have back row in 6th, Cactus 7th, Dunk on You in 8th, with Damon plays 9th. Guillermo rounds out the top 10. Now, after the top 10, well, of course, the top 10 all starting on the softs. We go down through 11th, Maka in the Haas on mediums, Undertaker behind him on the mediums as well. Alex Butt in 13th has opted for hards, as Lavelle goes for mediums in 14th position. Unicorn in 15th position with the hards. Right behind him, it's another different tire in Linus with the mediums, 16th for him. Moen, Gadwin, JA Game 17th, 18th, 19th respectively, all on the hards, with Dirk Chocolate bringing out the rear of this grid on a set of medium compound tires. So, tire strategy looking pretty diverse here, as we have 10 drivers on softs, 5 drivers on mediums, and 5 drivers on hards.
Yeah, the drivers on the softs not waving that much. They don't really want to warn these red wall tires, as Unicorn has been disqualified for the formation lap with a contact, it seems, with Linus. So very unfortunate for them, especially for Unicorn with those hards. It will be very difficult start on that compound on a very cold situation. So yeah, as you said, diverse strategy for these drivers. We can see probably a little bit of gap between the softs and the bottom 10 on these few on the first 10. Probably that could be normal, but probably Maka will try to catch the soft runners, so he can't lose that much time.
Well, the shakes are starting to settle in, the nerves are coming through, and I'm starting to get really ramped up and excited for this race as we come through Sector 3 now. Ruthenius leading this formation lap to, well, the race start, of course, and Whew. Alex, who do you think? Who's your number one? Who's your dark horse? Who do you think's gonna? Let's go outside of the top 10 for a change. You had to pick one driver outside this top 10 to finish in, let's say, the top 5 or the podium. Who's it gonna be?
I think it's Maka.
Maka, you're gonna go with that 11th slot. I'm gonna take Dirk. Just because I have no idea what was going through his head in qualifying, I'm gonna go with Dirk because usually he's got some left field strategies, so we'll go with Dirk today. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting race. All the drivers now getting to the grid. Rutanius Harlem, this front row looking good here around Baku. And as always, Alex, I'll give you the honors here to get us started for racing action. It's Tier 3, Round 8.
Yeah, we have here the last drivers. They are just positioning on the correct spot. And yes, we have 5 red lights here on Baku, and away we go. It seems like Harlem has a very, very good start, but Rutanius just putting the grip on Arrow as well, jumping Atom. It seems they had contact with Squid. The Squid goes a little bit wide. It seems like it's a pretty clean start at the back of this grid as well. Not major contact. It was a front wing there flying. Not a lot of exchanges. It seems like Arrow overtook Atom, but nothing major on this start. Very, very clean from these Tier 3 drivers.
Yeah, it's been very clean so far. A little bit of an exchange there in the opening turn between Cactus and Squid. Now Cactus, he's under threat from the Haas wheel to wheel. Guillermo round the outside here. Very neatly done from Guillermo. Taking a look at Cactus right now. No damage on him.
Moen overtaking Linus. It seems like a very good move for the Racing Point. Linus putting the wheel still, but it seems like Moen will have the move done out of turn 6. Very, very clean start. We'll see on Castle section is lap 1 as Undertaker goes on the inside of Lobel and turn 7. They going side by side on this Castle section. Undertaker will have to lift here to just be on one way to this turn 8, but it seems like he has more pace at the moment. But Lobel just retaining that AlphaTauri on his back.
Well, one thing to be happy about right now as we are away racing is that we are into the 3rd sector as Rutanius leads us in this Racing Point, and we have not had a VSC or a safety car yet. Everything relatively clean here. Now Arrow on the rear of Squid. He has Adam in his rear view, and yeah, he's struggling through this 3rd sector. You can see it on the rear of the Williams. Look at the amount of speed that Adam is carrying now. That front right is damaged on the Mercedes, and that will cost him here. He is not going into the pits.
Adam goes for the double overtake, it seems. He will be looking on the inside. Squid leaves the space, but goes a little bit wide. It's a squeeze from the Alfa Romeo. It's a very good move. They are side by side, still going to turn 2. It's Squid on the outside. Adam will lock up a little bit. It seems like Arrow will take the place on Squid on traction. It doesn't seem deal. We're on lap 2, not DRS. But Arrow is just spamming the ERS. It seems like he will be ahead of Squid on the braking zone. Squid going a little bit wide. This contact, and it seems like Squid has damage probably on that right part of his front wing, and I think it is.
Yeah, we're trying to find it right now. Take a look here on this Williams to see if he does in fact have damage on that front wing, and it looks like that front right missing an end plate right now, the same as the Mercedes, and this is going to hurt them. And it is going to expose them to the Red Bull of Backrow, who has a large train of drivers behind him. As we come through turn 7, dunk on you for a moment there. I thought he had gone a little bit deep and potentially into a wall, but now we're coming through this castle section, and things are tight in this grid all throughout.
Yeah, these drivers from Backrow, so I think it's Cactus, all waiting for trying to do a move on Arrow and Squid because they both have damage. So Backrow will be working on the back of this Mercedes, I think on the main straight, just nursing the battery. It seems like the Red Bull driver Adam, sorry, I think the gaps are a little bit great, so I thought he was very, very close to Harlem, but it's not the case. So Backrow, yes, it seems like an easy overtake on the Mercedes as he almost loses the rear on turn 19. Very difficult on high fuel conditions.
Yeah, Arrow, not a lot of options right now. DRS has been enabled. I heard a beep, but I didn't think we had DRS yet. We're just heading into lap 3, so I'm not entirely sure what that was. But there's wheel-to-wheel exchanging as we come through turn 1 here. The Arrow is shutting the door. Now we have Damon up the inside into turn 2. Does he get this move done on the Red Bull? Yes. Into 6th position, Damon goes.
And Guillermo really wants to take the place as he's using the battery. DRS as well on back row. It seems like he's lurking on the inside. Back row will be on the outside. Very good braking zone for back row, almost touching the back part of that McLaren. Duncan Yu as well. Very, very close on this action. We have an exchange between Moen and Linus. Moen on the hard, Linus diving on the inside of turn 3. I think there will be contact. Moen has damage.
Oh, I was
Moen
trying
has
to get a
damage,
better angle there.
I think it was before that action as Godwin as well. We're taking Alex Bot. There's contact between Unicorn and Alex Bot. It seems like Unicorn tapped the rear part of that Williams and he spun around on the wall. Dork as well. Overtaking now JA Games on turn 6. So very, very good drive for the McLaren.
Yeah, Dirk Chocolate has been making up some steady positions here. A little bit of drama unfolding in the rear of this grid right now outside of the points as Moen's gone into Castle's section and he's just taken off the entirety of his front wing, Alex.
Yes,
he's sitting off.
Everyone through. He's leaving everyone through. He knows he did a very huge mistake on that Castle section. It will be very, very unfortunate for Moen as he was really doing the comeback there. He had a little bit of damage now. Probably he understeered out of consequence of that damage as Harlan is very, very close on Retinius. He will not be looking for an overtake, it seems, on at least this turn 1. But yeah, very unfortunate for the other racing point of Moen as Adam sits the fastest lap here, 43.0 on lap 4.
Damon plays on the rear of Arrow right now, has back row in 7th, Guillermo in 8th, and Duncan Yu just this big train on the rear, and none of these racers want to be making any mistakes. Meanwhile, Harlem holding well with Rutanius at lead of this race right now within half a second. We saw Damon coming through turn 2, taking a little bit of a bash. I don't believe he took damage, and he won't be wanting to do that too much.
Yeah, as we have 2 drivers, I think Alex Bad, and Moen confirming they're pitting from these hards. Probably they will try to put a set of mediums. Yes, as Alex Bad does that, Moen as well, replacing that front wing. Both of them, very unfortunate for these drivers here on the first stint of this campaign here on Baku.
Well, everything has gone quite well here in the opening phases of this race. Not too much drama. No full-blown retirements as Guillermo looks like he might be losing a little bit of time to Duncan Yu through Castle, but it's going to be what looks like potentially a patient race. Everyone in good formation here. It'll be when tire degradation starts to set in that we see potential errors, maybe safety cars, but things have gone very well here as this race started.
Yeah, Duncan Yu seems more busy than the Haas he has. The Haas he has ahead of him. I don't know if he will try the overtake here. Guillermo just out of that window of DRS is utilizing that battery as well as the Renault, but it seems like Renault will have very, very good
Damon
momentum
on
out
Arrow.
of turn 19. Yeah,
Damon
definitely.
Easy as you like. Not a lot that Arrow can do here. A little bit later on the brakes to try and keep that car in
Duncan
that
Yu on the inside of Guillermo. He spins around on turn 1. No damage for the Renault, but it was, I think, a little bit late dive for Duncan Yu. It will cost a lot of positions for the Renault squad right now, and it's very, very bad luck for him. He will try to come back after this. It was very, very close between him and the Haas driver.
Cactus right now is into 10th position, and he had a very interesting race start. He was at the front, and it could be that he was just coming together with people or he had an issue setting him back, but he's on these softs, and I don't believe he has damage.
I really don't think he has damage, as I checked before. So he's stuck behind this both Haas, and it seems like Maka has more pace on those mediums. Now the softs probably around 50% of where on lap 5. Probably the lap window, the pit stop window opening on lap 6, 7, probably 8. So right now Guillermo on those softs losing a little bit of performance. And Maka, look at the traction zone out of turn 15 drift. Oh, he has to actually lift.
That was a very, very interesting situation between the two Haas drivers. And I'm being told now via the chat that Dirk Chocolate has damage, and he's also the first driver to collect a time penalty of 3 seconds in this race. So his Baku race not going to plan.
Guillermo going into the pits. It seemed as well as Squid replacing, I guess, that front wing. But now Cactus doing a double overtake on both Hasses. It seems like Maka will leave the space, a little bit of contact there on turn one. Nothing major. Undertaker lurking there on the back of the Mercedes. Cactus almost taking a double overtake. He will take only Guillermo because he goes to the pits. Two mediums, so it's a double stop it seems for the Haas driver. Now Undertaker on the back of Cactus. Now on the inside of turn 3, they are side by side. Now on the mediums, Undertaker, a little bit of contact there on the apex. Seems like Cactus will be losing that place, and Undertaker up to P8 following the other medium driver, Maka.
Oh, nice move from Undertaker there. Good exchange between him and Cactus as both of these racers look to hunt down Maka ahead. The difference here between Undertaker and Maka and Cactus is the fact that both Maka and Undertaker are on medium compound tires, and well, drivers have already come through to start pitting off these red-rimmed rubber tires, and we'll see when Rutanius, the race leader, will be coming in himself, currently leading Harlem 1.5 ahead. Harlem was within the second range, but it seems that he's now dropped off of Rutanius. Adam, 3.4 in third off the rear of Harlem.
Very good pace for the racing. Oh, almost losing the rear. Harlem there putting the overtake on turn 19. High fuel circumstances not allowing there to be full throttle. As Rutanius will be going to the pits, Harlem will follow him, so the softs are really dead at this stage. As Adam as well, he doesn't want to wait one more lap. The undercut, very powerful here. Squid did the undercut, but I think he changed his front wing, so probably he will not be able to undercut this top 3. Back row giving, the game giving 5-second penalty for spinning on the pit lane to back row. So very unlucky for him as Maka and Undertaker stay out. Both Mercedes drivers speeding at the same time.
Rutanius made a mistake. They didn't have the tires ready. They didn't have the tires ready in the Racing Point garage, and he has just come into turn 2, and there's been a major exchange as Dirk Chocolate is facing the opposite direction.
This is major. I don't know what happened there on the Racing Point garage,
but
moving. Now he needs to do the comeback.
Wow, what a development. What an absolute development here in turn 2. No VSC, no safety car. Rutanius, well, he's been jumped by Harlem. He's been jumped by Adam, and he's in 7th position with traffic in between him and those other drivers. The Racing Points didn't have the tires.
It's more than 5 seconds lost to Harlem. It seems like 7 seconds probably he lost on the total between him and his rival. So now he'll have to catch, and yeah, this traffic can be major. Probably the difference on grip can be a favor to him, but I don't know with this DRS train. Galwin has DRS to defend. So very difficult circumstances for the Racing Point squad right now.
Damon right now on these fresh hards on the rear of JA Games through 15 right now is showing great pace as Gadwin is quite tight to the rear of Adam. Gadwin maybe a little bit more temperature in those hards at the moment. Here goes Damon showing a lot of pace in comparison to this Red Bull right now. We'll see what happens.
Seems like it will be an easy overtake. But yeah, now side by side, both drivers. But look at who's there on the back. Is back row. Slipstream from his teammate. Sorry, slipstream for the McLaren as well. It doesn't seem like he will be diving on the inside. Yes, he will. No contact there. Damon leaving the space, almost touching the wall on the outside. And it's an overtake for back row and Damon on JA Games. And I think Godwin lost the position on Rutanius. Rutanius will try to do another overtake on turn 3 on Linus. Linus on DRS, he actually yields. He doesn't want to lose that much time on Rutanius. Rutanius now, I think, on the DRS window, almost of Atom. He's now has to push a lot.
Well, Linus, Gadwin right now, close proximity. Damon charging behind them with back row. Back row now has a penalty. We're on lap 8 out of 26 here in Tier 3 racing action.
There's an exchange between teammates. It seems like Unicorn probably, with damage on that left end plate. And we have a yellow flag on Castle. It's a massive pileup.
Not just a massive pileup. That was Adam who went into Castle section and took off a massive amount of that wing. Rutanius, I do believe, went into him And we have a major issue here is there's a little bit of a, maybe an illegal safety car overtake here. There we go. Gadwin's taken a 5-second for a severe collision, and I'm not entirely sure why all of those drivers were stationary.
I think it was a loop of illegal overtake, and anyone wanted to. Oh, Rutenius went wide on turn 15. I think he definitely has damage, and he doesn't have the 5-second penalty. It seems that's a favor for him, but he will certainly have to change that front wing. Now Undertaker pitting, Mac as well pitting, and it's major for them. All of these drivers with major damage. Rutenius, Linus, I don't know if it's AA Games. The AA Games is actually saved out of this, and he will take both places as easy as he likes. Another yellow flag. I think it's Adam out of this race, as well as Arrow.
Oh my, and this is under, well, this is under a virtual safety car. This is, what has I don't know what to say, Alex. This has been such a major development.
I think Arrow and Atom had damage. They went wide on turn 19 and both collided on that. The exit of turn 19, it's very, you really need the downforce to do it on flat out circumstances. So they both, I think, collided, and it was terminal for both of them. Undertaker pitting as well as Macan. They are both on the podium with one fresher tires than Harlem. So not the ideal, but it's very good.
There it is. Finally a safety car in this race, and I have no idea why this safety car has been deployed, but I imagine there is a good chunk of drivers in here that are going to be thrilled about it, but there's going to be definitely a few that aren't. Of course,
this
now
is very good for Undertaker.
Well, Harlem, Undertaker, Macca. This is it's a unique development, and I have to say, a lot of interesting stuff happening on circuit. A lot of emotions run high in Baku, and well, we'll just have to see how things looked on the onboards following the race. But we're on lap 9 under safety car conditions now, and Harlem in the Ferrari here in a pirate role is in lead of the race.
Of course, he's not bidding. He just has pressured, fresh tires. I think Undertaker will not bidding as well. These top 4 drivers, probably say again, bidding for mediums can be. I think, yeah, he has to bid for mediums, definitely, and he can go to the end. So it will be amazing for him, as he was starting 19th, I think. Now just make sure he doesn't speed on the pit lane, but Retinis was on soft, so he needs to pit as well. Guillermo on the 2-stop has to pit as well. Squid, I don't know if all of these drivers had damage before, but they are just taking profit of this yellow flag conditions under safety car to pit, and for some will be good, and probably other drivers will not be too thrilled about this situation.
Well, it's been, as I said, a very unique and massive development in this race, as we're not even to the halfway point yet. We've had our first VSC and first safety car. It was going quite well, but now we've had such a shuffle. We'll take a look at the position changes to really give you guys a clear picture of where drivers started and where they've now ended up in this race.
Yeah, this was massive on these 2 laps. Was just a lot of actions, a lot of accidents. I think you said it was Atom on that castle section causing the pileup. Then we had another incident on turn 19, and I think after that race director called it, and it was safety car. So right now Harlem will be the first of this grid, as I think he was before, just after those pit stop, and Rutenius now on P15 after leading all the first stint.
This is just crazy. Look at all the stops. 3 stops for a few drivers on this grid already, Alex. We've got Alex Budd, Moen, Rutenius, all with those 3 stops now. And this has really shaped us an interesting race, as the former race leader and pole sitter here, Rutenius, is now in 15th position on lap 10.
Look at these drivers. They are all on mediums, and the top 5 is on hards. Seems like they survived all the carnage they saw on that castle section, so they will be vulnerable to Jay again, Squid, and Guillermo as well as Unicorn. These on mediums, Linus as well on hard. So probably he will be losing some places as he has 6, I think, drivers, 7, sorry, on the mediums behind him.
Gonna be tough. Not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all.
And Linus has damage actually on his right end plate. Would say no, sorry, back row pitting again. I think he's putting a new set of softs. Yeah, I think he is. So it will be massive for him because I really don't think this with this compound he can go to the end. Probably he thinks the safety car will be one more lap so he can change to mediums and have fresher tires, because otherwise I really don't know what he's planning here. But I really see very difficult to extend the softs. I think it's a new set of soft 15 laps.
Just reviewing everybody and their thoughts on what's going down right now in the chat, of course. Let us know what you're thinking about this race. Who do you have on podium at the end of this one now that everything's been thrown up in the air? I don't think we're done with these safety cars just yet here, Alex.
No, I think we're waiting for Alex Baramoen. So probably Bauer knew about that, so he put it the soft compound. I really think he needs to pit again on this safety car queue. So he probably will be losing 2 more places on Alex Baramoen, but with fresher mediums than everyone.
Well, where is the call for this safety car? It's not coming in, Alex.
It's not. It will be one more lap here on Baku. We haven't seen a lot of safety cars here on Tier 3. I think we didn't see on Spain. No, we actually saw one because I think Guillermo crashed on Turn 9, but we didn't see on Monaco.
That's right. Spain, we saw Guillermo. He had an issue.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, the only one in that race.
Yeah, definitely. As Baku is not beating, so he will try to go with these softs to the end. Probably he thinks there will be another safety car, because otherwise I don't know which is the plan for the Australian driver on the Red Bull.
Well, one thing I can say is, and I've said it for, I don't want to say years because I haven't been doing this that long, but I'll say seasons. I've been saying it for seasons now, Alex. Safety cars, they like to create safety cars, and Baku is where I coined that turn of phrase, or I started saying it, because Tier 2 Baku saw 4 full safety cars, and it was one after another, and I don't know what to expect. There's a lot of emotions left on this grid that caused this safety car. Who knows how people are feeling? Everybody's going to be wanting to get positions quick.
Definitely. We'll have 14 laps left when the safety car goes into the pits. We'll be starting the green flag racing on lap 13. So these top 5 drivers will be really trying to warm up those hearts, because it's a very difficult track to do it, and with these overcast conditions probably even more. That's very important. We can see lock-ups on turn 1 going wide, losing traction out of these hard runners, and probably J Game Squid or Guillermo can take a look on these drivers and put their nose in. So I really think we can see some overtakes here.
Well, your dark horse is doing a lot better than my dark horse right now. You had Maka and P11 for a potential top 5 podium finish in this race, and right now he is in position to strike and come true on that. Dirk Chocolate right now, he's moved from 20th from where I had him pegged for a potential position to do this, but he's had an up and down dynamic. 15th position for him right now, so we'll see how things go for our picks in this one. Of course, everyone has their picks in the chat. Now we have the safety car coming in, as Harlem will do his best to slow down this grid nice and consistently to give us a good race start here. It looks like he's already hit the throttle down, but that car is not yet fully into the pit lane here. We'll see if he is going to get throttle locked in any capacity, but yes, Harlem has taken off on this restart, and he's caught out a good chunk of racers on this rolling
Yeah.
restart already.
Yeah, now Guillermo will try a move on the outside of Squid. We will see if the Haas can do it. Squid, it seems like he has not the optimal temperature for these mediums. Squid, oh, that was a big squeeze from Squid.
Well, Unicorn almost went into the rear of Guillermo there, trying to get out of the way, and Damon plays right now is on the inside of Linus, heading down into turn 3, and that is a position for the McLaren here so far into 10th now. Everybody trying to find their braking points on fresh rubber, different fuel loads, and of course temperatures playing a role here. Back row has made it into 15th position ahead of Dirk Chocolate, and this is not good for Dirk Chocolate right now, as Alex Budd is within his rearview mirrors, as well as Moen, and this whole train is in full force behind Unicorn right now.
Look at the grip out of those soft strips. He's just overtook Dirk as nothing, and he will try to do the same on this train. That's probably why he really wanted those softs, but I really don't think the life of them will be enough for the end of this race. Very close gaps here. J Games still on half second of Cactus. Cactus losing DRS already, as well as Maka out of that restart. Undershaker a little bit more awake.
Here goes back row on the inside of 15. The Red Bull versus the AlphaTauri. There's a little bit of a bang, and I have to say that's Gadwin with an end plate coming off the front right of that AlphaTauri.
Now Moen taking profit of that, and I think Alex Budd will be the next one to take as well. That's very, very bad luck for the AlphaTauri driver.
Right now, JA Game Squid wheel to wheel coming down the straight as Squid looks to hunt down the Red Bull. They're on the same tires right now. Squid showing some good pace in that Williams. They have Guillermo not too far behind. JA Games will fall to 7th.
Wide. It's almost 3 wide between Linus, Lobel, and Rutenius. It will be Lobel on the inside, Linus on the middle. Linus will yield. Linus squeezes a little bit Rutenius. Rutenius will have to yield as well. Backrow will take the place out of the racing point down on turn 2 with those softs, a little bit of a squeeze bank on the wheels. But Rutenius will take the place, both utilizing that battery. Lobel as well, very close on Linus, and Duncan Yu and Cactus exchanging positions right now. It seems like it was a mistake from Duncan Yu.
Well, Linus Lavelle fighting. This is good for Rutenius, but the one thing that isn't good for Rutenius is that Backrow's just sitting here on his rear wheels, not letting him move very well. Now he's going to go and look for Linus. Around the outside of Linus he goes. Rutenius through turns 5 and 6. Rutenius on the inside now. Will Backrow find a slot through here? Linus a little jumpy on the exit. There's been a retirement. It's Harlem in the Ferrari. He's gone into Castle section, and that will be a VSC deployed. The Ferrari is out. Oh my, what racing we've seen on this restart. Rutenius will move through into 11th on the rear of Lavelle. Backrow's in 17th position, and what happened in that exchange?
Oh, and Alex Budd crashed into the on the car, and Backrow has to wait. He ghosted through Alex Budd. I don't think he really had other plans, like other ways to nail that, but because that was very difficult to navigate. But yeah, it's a virtual safety car, so it's not full safety car. Backrow lost 14 seconds out of that, so it will be very, very harsh to him to do the comeback after all of that exchange and lose off positions. I think BSC is now ending. We are green flag. Nobody had drive-through, and I think Squid is very, very close on Duncan Yu on turn 1. He will try to dive. The heart's a little bit cold after this BSC. Duncan Yu going a little bit wide. I think he brushes the wall, not enough for giving him damage. Now J Games will be lurking. I think Guillermo as well overtook the Renault, and now J Games will try to do the same as both drivers. Duncan Yu losing the rear out of turn 2. Now the Red Bull, the reserve driver, trying to do the move as I said, and now Squid as well, very, very close on that podium, trying to overtake Cactus for third place strip.
He's looking at Linus coming into turn 3 here. Dirk Chocolate getting ahead of the Ferrari right now. Linus with a big issue getting later on the brakes. That front right wing has been taking a beating, and I'm surprised he's not missing more of it right now, considering he just bashed that outside wall. But he is right now on the hunt, and Squid, speaking of hunting, has Guillermo in his rearview mirror right now as he looks to hunt down Cactus. Cactus on those hards, as you said earlier. And we're on lap 15 in this race. And we've had 2 VSCs and a full safety car so far, and we'll just see how that plays out through to the end now.
Yeah, now Rutenius as well, half a second out of the points He really needs those points to
Oh!
keep.
Guillermo's gone into the rear of Squid, and Squid's taken a massive chunk out of the front end on that Williams through 15, and I have to say Guillermo's missing some as well. Dunk on You will be looking to profit long term.
This is very good for Cactus. Now he can take the gap and create it on his back, as both drivers on the medium. They had the very good strategy now with damage. I think Squid will have to pit after this. He definitely has to, and Guillermo as well will do the same. No, he won't. And Duncan, you have
JA Games,
DRS.
he's overtaken Unicorn. He's going to get Guillermo as well. As look at all this action that's happening right now. JA Games, Dunk on You. Oh, very tight through turn 1 right now, and there's a ton of action coming out of this. There goes a Haas to a snap for the inside, and that's exposed him to Unicorn massively. Unicorn's going to get through here.
And Damon as well. It's a double overtake for Unicorn, and Damon plays now. Guillermo with damage will be suffering these 10 laps remaining if he doesn't want to pit, and Rutenius is closing the gap as he just overtook Global, I think, on the main straight. So it was a very easy overtake for him, it seems. Now on the point, Rutenius, and gaining seconds on this train. Guillermo really falling back, and Damon just staying on the pack. Right now, Cactus is a little bit safe, as I said. Duncan You as well, but Duncan You right now actually creating this train. He's on the hards, he's on worse tires than this driver, so he really needs to create the gap and just let them stay behind so he can have better tires at the end of this race.
Dunk on You, JA Games, Unicorn, Damon all in close position right now as Rutenius gets Guillermo into 18. Easy as you like for him. Guillermo with that damage, and I imagine Lavelle will be not too far behind Rutenius looking for that Haas.
Yeah, both Reynolds actually nursing so good their battery. Duncan You on 80% and Unicorn on 60 right now. JA Games really wants to overtake one of the Reynolds, with as Damon plays actually low on battery, the lower of these 4 drivers. JA Games, I think now Duncan You was defensive. Now Guillermo jumps into the pits.
Yeah, Guillermo into the pits, Lavelle into 9th position as a result here, and Unicorn very tight to the rear of JA Games coming into turn 2. He's got Dunk on You ahead in 4th position, who could potentially play rear gunner for him, and this is what Unicorn needs to do now. He needs to catch up with JA Games, potentially overtake that car before he gets the move done on his teammate.
Definitely, because after that, I guess Duncan You will leave his teammate by. Probably that can be very good for the Reynolds to maintain a 4-5 for them. So right now Squid pitting again, I think. Yes, he probably had damage again, so he's pitting for subs to the end. Very harsh lag for a lot of drivers here on the back part of this grid. Damon Blitz actually has to avoid contact with Unicorn and Sun 7 after they both went defensive, I think. Now Unicorn catching JA Games, it seems. Duncan, you're really creating that strain, and probably you can see a lot of overtakes. Damon Blitz going wide out of turn 12, and Rutenius closing the gap now on these drivers.
Well, Damon does not want Rutenius catching up with him, as a couple cars ahead of Damon just went through 15 and bashed the wall. I don't believe any debris came off any cars, so everyone should be smooth sailing for now, but Damon, Rutenius right now on his rear, not going to be happy about that, given the fact that Rutenius was leading this race earlier and he knows the pace of this driver behind him.
Look how Duncan Yu is trying to break this slipstream, but he's not doing it. Unicorn now utilizing a lot of battery. He died on the inside of JA Games. JA Games leaves the door open, but it's not enough for having the overtake. But now, yes, Unicorn will have the upper hand on turn 2. Now JA Games really boxed in, and Damon Place will take a lot of traction out of turn 2. Now the slipstream is for the Red Bull, though. Unicorn loud on battery, as well as Damon Place. Damon Place on the inside of turn 3. Yes, he will have the move, but it's a space still for the Red Bull, and he has better traction, it seems, on the outside. Now Damon Place still doing the switch back. He will try it, and it seems like he had a little bit of wheel spin, but even though he has the move done.
Wow, what an exchange there coming with Damon. And Unicorn set that all in motion through turn 1 on the Red Bull. Rutenius now on the rear of JA Games, and he'll be looking to inherit a position for 7th as well.
was very, very intense on sector 1 for these 3 drivers. Now Unicorn trying to catch his teammate. Routine is going a little bit wide, and he has Lovell on his back. He catched as well this pack, Dark Chocolate, sorry, on 10th position. So he will take a point, it seems, but he has a penalty. He's the only one who does have a penalty. I think it's a 3-second time penalty. So he's just needs to create that gap with Moen to take that point to home.
Well, here we go now through Sector 3. That Red Bull under major threat here is Rutanius with a great run. We're looking to dispatch this Red Bull, and he will be needing that DRS to do so. But of course, JA Games with the DRS as well. How's this going to go? Wheel to wheel, just about. Not yet. We're into braking now with a big lunge out of Rutanius on the inside of the Red Bull. He's leaving the space. JA Games with a solid defense around the outside right now, but Rutanius will just edge ahead into 7th position coming through turn 2, and he is going to get that move done now. Rear wing wide open for JA Games to try and do something about this.
But he has low on battery strife, so
That's
he
right.
will not be doing that. Overthink seems no, he won't be. Lovell has more battery, so probably almost losing the rear there on turn 3, the Alfa Romeo car. But yeah, I think he knows about that, and Squid and Baku have an exchange on main straight as he sets the fastest lap.
Damon now on the rear of Dunk on You there. 12 lap old hards. Unicorn, his teammate, now safely through into 4th position. He has one job, Alex, and that's to really set himself up as an anchor for his teammate here. The drivers on the hards ahead, well, nobody really knows where they might land at the end of this one. With a medium runner like Unicorn, 3.2 off Cactus, we could be seeing Unicorn with a podium here if Dunk on You is a reliable anchor in this grid for him.
Yeah, definitely. And this battle is really forming again. Duncan, I think, actually leave a little bit the door open on the main straight to his teammate Unicorn on those mediums, trying to take profit of that extra grip he has at the moment. I don't know if he's catching Cactus at the moment, but 7 laps to go, and I think he's not. I think the crossover now between the hards and the medium is probably equalized. So we will see if he can take some 10th about the gap with him and Cactus. Now I think Rutanius really nursing that battery to try to overtake Demon Place. Rutanius will not have the run to turn 3, but still, I think Unicorn is actually not gaining on Cactus. And we have an exchange, I think it's Lovell on J Games on turn 3. It's a very good move from the Alfa Romeo. He will stay ahead of J Games, even with not fresher tires, it will be older tires for the Alfa Romeo. So he will try to catch that DRS on Rutanius. Right now he has it, but he doesn't want to lose it. He wants to really be following that racing point through this traffic strip.
Rutanius right now showing so much pace in this race, back into 7th position after a very up and down race. Well, it's going to be an interesting... the interviews at the end of this one will be quite interesting, to say the least, Alex.
Definitely, Undertaker seems like he will... I really don't want to jinx him, but Undertaker can take his first win here on tier 3, as I think someone brushed the wall on turn 15. I'm trying to see if someone got damaged. I didn't see any in-plate flying. Doesn't seem like anyone got damaged. That's very good for these drivers, as Diamond Place is really close on the back of Duncan Yu. Duncan Yu with a big chunk of battery, but he has DRS as well to protect and defend from his teammate, as well as Slipstream, so probably they are shocking there on team radio, and Damon Place will abort that overtake because the battery is not on his back. He only has 2% compared to 40, almost 50% on the Renault.
Well, Damon wants to get through on Dunk on You, but right now something that's not really happening well for Dunk on You here is that he's not really escaping Unicorn very well, and as long as he's within range of Unicorn, that means that Damon, Rutanius, and Lavelle, they're all in range. And that means it's anyone's race at the end of it. We're on lap 21 out of 26.
Yeah, and Barry, do you remember J Games and Dark Chocolate were on last row, and now they are both on points, so very good job for them, as Dark Chocolate extended that gap between him and Moen. So right now, I think he's on points. I will check the penalties though. It's 8 seconds, so it's 9 tenths. He needs to create 9 tenths gap to take that point, Dark Chocolate. But very very good job from last place. As Squid takes another place right now. It will be on Gadwin. Now he's on 13th place. He's trying to do the recovery, so a safety car will be massive for him.
Well, we still have a couple of laps left for a potential safety car, but so far it's just been the 2 VSCs and the 1 full safety car here.
Yeah, but even though that shaked a lot, this great Undertaker and Maka, I think they were both out of the top 10 on this quali. At least Maka. I really don't know about Undertaker, but yeah, I know he started on mediums, so probably he was. Right now, Unicorn, it seems like he catched a little bit of 10th out of Cactus, but it doesn't seem enough. He's setting his personal best. The Renault, I think, was 44, but I'm not sure. Still, this string forming up. Damon Place really needs to nurse the battery to make the move, because otherwise, Duncan, you will be having more battery than him.
Well, he's starting to drop off Unicorn now, just slowly, and this could have been strategical. They could have just been waiting and waiting and waiting to kind of drop that anchor. You know what I mean? So that they give Unicorn a few... Well, they give these drivers less laps overall to catch up to Unicorn.
Definitely. As Unicorn, we'll see if he can take the podium. As I said, it doesn't seem like he really needs to catch almost half a second per lap to get it done. And Undertaker still creating a little bit of gap on Maka. It seems like they are both running almost on the same 10th. Probably Undertaker a little bit faster than the Haas driver. Cactus is still on that 1.9. I don't know if he's catching. I really don't know. But Maka and Undertaker, obviously, they are not. They do not need to utilize that battery, so they are chilling on that 80% range.
What a strategical battle this has turned into at the end of it between a few of these drivers. Energy deployment, tire degradation, management of everything is coming into play for them. Rutanius, less than a second on the rear of Damon. Damon now, I think he might have an opportunity to finally take Dunk on You here. The question is, will Rutanius be able to follow him through? No. And this is massive, because Dunk on You can just sit himself in front of Rutanius for a little moment here. The question is whether or not Rutanius will have enough juice to really push himself ahead into 6th coming out of turn 2 here. Not quite tight to the rear. Dunk on You also has the DRS to compete with him.
Oh, and he's really going for it. Look at the slipstream, look at the battery, look at the DRS. He will go on the inside of Damon Plays. Side-by-side action again. Will be a little bit of bang there on the wheels. Side-by-side still on turn 4 drift. These drivers really don't want to yield here.
Well, Dunk on You is doing a very good job. I think we can say a very nice defense out of Dunk on You, getting back into 5th. And what's happened in Castle section? It's Linus.
It's the other Ferrari as well.
No front wing.
Undertaker very close on that action. We'll see if Linus just deals on the exit of turn 12.
Bit of a
Undertaker
snap.
almost losing the rear.
Yeah, very fortunate that didn't go all the way to the right or left for him, and he was managed to get that caught up.
Damon as well, very close on sector 2 on the castle section. But look at this position change, Striff. We didn't see, I think, yet on this race, but it's massive. All the green you can see on the top 10. It's 11 positions for Undertaker. He started on P12. Maka on P11. Cactus as well, gaining some places after starting on the soft compound. Unicorn as well, P15 to P4 at the moment. Duncan You, everyone winning except Rutanius.
I think Rutanius is about to go for a double overtake. He's got Damon right in his crosshairs here. Dunk on You just ahead. He's got no DRS. Dunk on You. He's a sitting duck, and here goes Rutanius. It's 3 wide now as we come down into turn 1. The McLaren on the outside. The Racing Point on the inside. It's wheel to wheel between Damon and Rutanius. Dunk on You's there. There's a bit of contact. Damon with that rear on the front wing of the Racing Point has had a big bash with the wall. Dunk on You through the inside of 2 is going to get 6th back, and Lavelle has caught things up, and now Rutanius here with a little bit of damage on that front left. Look at Lavelle through. He's gone into the wall. There's been big contact between him and Rutanius here through turn 3, and now JA Games is in the rear view of this. Damon and Duncan, you are gone.
Yeah, I actually think it was a lag issue between these two drivers, as I think Squid crashed on turn 2. He spun out of turn 2. He yielded on these drivers who went faster on the racing line. But yeah, I think there was a lag issue between Rutanius and Damon Play. That's why they collided. They notched out of turn 1. It seems like a little bit of teleport there between both drivers, and Lovell taking damage after trying to overtake Rutanius. Very, very unfortunate. Rutanius as well with that damage, I think, on both end plates, as he had the contact. That Jay Games right now catching all this group, and this is very good for him, as well as Dorkon.
Whoa!
There. Oh my god.
What has happened there? Well,
I think he tried to avoid the contact with Lovell.
JA Games has now made a position into 8th. Dirk Chocolate's going to get this as well, and Dirk Chocolate's got a clean wing. JA Games right now, we're on the penultimate lap of this race as the leaders have crossed through.
And Demon Plays wants to do the overtake, really, even with the damage. And Demon Plays, Duncan, you went defensive on turn 1. Demon Plays on the outside. I don't know if he will find the downforce. There's a yellow flag on sector 3. It's massive contact between Guillermo and I think Linus Cactives as well. So it will be not an overtake for Demon. Very, very unfortunate for the Hats driver on the back of this grid. And Lobel, right now, I think he's managing to hold J Games of Dark Chocolate. Will try the move on the inside of turn 3. We will see if the McLaren can do it, can make it real. It seems like he will. Now on the outside, finds more traction, the Red Bull again.
J Games really holding on for dear life against Dirk Chocolate right now. Look at the exit here as we come out of turn 5 into, turn 4 into into 5 and 6. Man, this is really intense between these guys as JA Games now, he's been dispatched by Rutanius as well. And I don't know who's going to really hang on to points at the end of this now. Given all of this now, Dirk's got a penalty. I believe he's got, does he have 6 seconds at the moment or does he have 3? I think he's got 8 seconds.
Unicorn is real battling for the podium. He's trying to break that DRS window between him and Cactus. It seems like right now it's 1.042. I don't know if it's really coming down, but Cactus really using that overtake button to try to break it. Doesn't seem like he will have it. It doesn't seem like Unicorn will have DRS.
We have one more lap of running here as Undertaker now crosses the line to start the 26th lap of this race. Unicorn within 1.2 of Cactus ahead, hunting him down on 3 lap fresher tires. Right now we have the fight for P7 as Dirk Chocolate has caught up with a second within Lavelle.
Yeah, level damage. Yeah, and J Games really closing Rutanius without both end plates on that front wing. Suffering, but still holding there. Dark Chocolate, remember, he has 8-second penalty, so probably he will fall to P10 as J Games stopping the rear of Rutanius, almost spinning that racing point. Doesn't seem like it was major contact or nothing. Not
there
even
goes back
for the Red Bull.
Clean move ahead of Guillermo into turn 1, neatly done from him, and albeit not for points at the moment. Back row on the 11-lap old mediums is making some moves. Moen will be next up for him, giving us a little bit of overtaking action for back row here. As he comes along the outside, you can see damage on the front right there for Moen. Much later on the brakes was back row. A little bit of contact. He went to turn in, I think, a little bit early there. Moen still there. Further up ahead now, Cactus has Unicorn really extraordinarily close right now. Same with Dirk and Lavelle, and this is now a fight for podium position as Unicorn is less than a second, less than 8/10, and closing to this Mercedes ahead. 18-lap old hards, 15-lap old mediums now. Will this be what Unicorn needs? He will have DRS here, but there's no juice. There's absolutely no juice in it. Now Dirk's getting Lavelle through 16. Does this stick? Was it early for him? Undertaker.
Undertaker will win this race. I think it's the first win, yes, for him on Tier 3. Maka will cross second. Cactus, first podium for him. Unicorn will not take the podium again like Monaco's, just on the doors again on that Ronald Hulkenberg style. Now Duncan Yu crossing 5th place, Demon place, holding that damage. Lobel jumps Dark on the line, I think it was. And returns will take P8 after Dark has penalties. J Games P9. Dark Chocolate on P10 from last place.
Wow. What a race that was. Well, I'll have to say this. Both of our dark horses got into the top 10. Dirk Chocolate there collecting the final point, and Maka coming back once again, strong as ever. Second position for him, and it was Undertaker with what I do believe is his maiden victory here in the AlphaTauri. Cactus with his maiden podium. A lot to be happy about for those top 3 right now, and a few of these points finishers here. Definitely a lot to go through and dissect from this race, and I just want to say a moment as the final driver now, Cactus, comes through turn 15. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. We know things can get heated. We know things can get really intense. It's racing and we all love it, and it's all about Formula One. But thank you everybody for keeping it real here on the broadcast, especially through Baku.
It was very, very intense, very, very intense. Rotenius pole sitter will fall on P8, but his rivals like Atom and Harlem Squid were not there. Atom and Arrow colliding on turn 19, Harlem on his own on Castle section, so it will be still points for the Racing Point squad, at least from Rotenius. Moen just on 11th place again, I think, just out of the points. Moen really doing the effort. I think he had damage and he was holding a lot of drivers, so very, very good drive for him, as we see Undertaker on this celebration on the podium.
I am extremely happy to see Undertaker take a win here in the MRL. Alex, he has been driving MRL as long as I have been in this community, and it's so nice to see Undertaker coming through, finally capturing that win, and it's a big congratulations to him and all of the podium finishers and points finishers here in round 8, tier 3. There he is once again, Undertaker in the AlphaTauri. It was 12th position where he started this one, and he takes the win. Maka, Alex Biddo's dark horse for the race, the Haas driver, 11th to 2nd. Lovely stuff from him. And it was Cactus, who's had a very up and down dynamic season. He started this one in 7th, and he rounds out the podium here in 3rd. The Albanian will be thrilled as he's in that Mercedes. Of course, he's going by a different flag as usual. Unicorn there in 4th, Duncan Yu in 5th. We have Damon in 6th, Lavelle in 7th, Rutanius, who started this race on pole position, a very dynamic upside down race for him. He will finish in 8th, JA Games in 9th, and it will be Dirk Chocolate following JA Games. They both started this race on the absolute last row of the grid, but they finished on the last row of the points, Alex, and what a race from them. Moen, back row, Guillermo, aka Beccario, Squid, Gadwin, Alex Bud, Linus, Harlem over at Ferrari in a reserve capacity, Arrow, and Adam all with us in this one. And of course, JA Games was there in her reserve capacity at Red Bull as well. So the reserves today doing a good job. Well, Harlem had that issue in Castle, but he was having a good race.
Very good pace for Harlem.
Yeah, he was having a good race. Wow.
Yeah, it was very intense. It's just a roller coaster. Baku always brings a roller coaster on the track, as you have the 3 podium finishers on the waiting room. So,
well, we will drag them up, and we'll start, of course, with welcoming to the commentary booth for the first time, Cactus. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish here in Baku. What a dynamic race. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm tired, man. I sweat so much in the last few laps. I thought the Unicorn would get me, actually.
It was close. Very close.
Oh, yeah, it was close.
Well, safety car came out in this one, Cactus, and we didn't see a safety car in Monaco last week, so just talk us through your race.
I had a bad start. Not bad start, actually. I was being overly careful, kind of letting everybody by. And then the setup I had was very bad for the softs, over 50%. So on my lap that I had to pit, I smashed on the wall and I had to double stack with Aro, and I came out with like P17 or 18, something like that. So I was like, yeah, this is not happening. And I don't know, things twisted around when the safety car came out. I asked Yoda if I should pit. He said no, stay out. They stayed out from then on. I think I just had to manage the pace. Overall, I suck at this track. I don't know how to drive the chicane, the exit of the castle, so to get a P3, it's amazing.
Well, it was an amazing race. Congratulations to you. How are you looking ahead for round number 9, Canada?
I'm gonna make you proud, man. I broke my duck. I smashed the duck.
All right. Well, thanks, Cactus, for joining us for an interview, and we will see you potentially very soon again here in the commentary booth with us.
Thank you too, man. Bye.
All right. That was Cactus now joining us, the second position finisher here, the Haas driver. And, well, I have to say, it's not the first time. And, well, it's seemingly not going to be the last time either. Maka, congratulations and welcome back. And great drive from you today. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I got, again, really lucky with the safety car timing, virtual safety car, but started on the medium was definitely better for, me.
Well, safety car came out, definitely played a role in this one. We didn't see a safety car last week, but we're here with you, second position. How did it go near the end of that race? You had, Cactus not too close, Undertaker not too close. Was it just kind of like a safe drive at the end? Were you worried about medium runners?
Yeah, I did see the medium guys a bit worried when they first went on to them, but I just knew that I had to just keep it clean for the last couple of laps. So.
How are you looking for round 9 Canada next week?
I'm looking forward to it now. That's 3 second places in a row, I think. So.
Yeah, you're starting to get some great consistency in the Haas camp. Well,
yeah.
Congratulations, Maka, and thank you so much for the interview, as always, and congratulations once again.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Okay, last but most definitely not least, and as always, I'll give the winner to Mr. Alex Bitto, but of course, Undertaker, congratulations, a race winner here today in Baku. Wow. Just for me to you, sir, congratulations, Alex.
Yeah, I really not have any words. It was a very, very solid drive, no mistakes. It seems from you. You are one of the oldest members here on Misfits Racing League, so it's I think for a lot of drivers here on the chat as well who are supporting you, they're very proud from your drive. So tell me how you were managing those tires. The safety car came, I think, on a perfect spot for your strategy. How you were feeling on when the safety car came down?
First of all, hello guys from me too, and thank you. It was very, very interesting race. I don't know where to start. The strategy obviously was mediums to hards. Both tires felt great with the setup. The car felt very stable, and virtual safety car came out at the perfect moment. I came out from the pits and I was second place. Then we had the safety car that helped me close the gap. And from there, it was a steady race. As you said, it was, for me, I think it was the best race I have ever done. There was no mistakes. And yeah, it was the first P1.
Yeah,
Well,
very, very,
that was
very
an
good job.
amazing race. I can't, there's not a lot of words that can describe that race. You got to say amazing, dynamic, because there was so much that happened in it, but I am beyond excited to have you on the top step, Undertaker, in that AlphaTauri. It's been a long time coming, so congratulations. Do you have any messages for anyone that may be viewing along in the stream tonight?
Yes, I want to say a big thank you to my team for the setup. They helped a lot, and a big thank you to Luktra. He's watching on the stream. He was my pit manager today, and he did a superb job.
Just a couple of MRL originals taking some wins in Baku today. Shout out to you and Luktra, and congratulations, Undertaker. Thank you so much. Well, that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. The first of 5 rounds here around Baku. Wow. That was a wild, wild race, Alex. And there, as we said, there aren't a lot of words that can really sum it up. Just the race did all the talking. You and I were just there for the ride, we'll say, after this one. And it really does set the bar high for Americas this evening in Tiers 2, 1, and APAC through the rest of the week. But any closing remarks from you, my friend?
I'm really, really happy, Undertaker. So that our first place, Mac as well, taking the consistency. And I think first, yeah, of course, podium for Cactus here on Tier 3. And I think for me, Cities on Tier 3, I think. So yeah, very, very happy for the podium finishers. And I wish better luck for the other drivers who didn't finish the race or had bad luck today. So that's all for me, Striff.
Well, that's all from Alex Vito. That's all from me. And of course, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We're going to be rating a member of the F1 community in just a short moment after the outro. And of course, don't forget, tonight we have the Americas race at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 2 a.m. for our friends in the UK. And who can forget our amazing partners in Next Level Racing. Of course, check them out via the link in the chat and the panels down below on their website for some amazing quality simulation racing products, guys. They're really, really doing a lot for sim racing. So check them out, and we will wish you guys a fantastic, fantastic rest of your evening. Thanks for watching.